Wendy and Archie were what many called the perfect couple. Their athletic bodies and healthy lifestyles were envied by everyone who knew them. Wendy, a dedicated personal trainer, exuded confidence and vitality. Her green eyes sparkled with enthusiasm when she talked about fitness and wellness. Her long brown hair, usually tied back in an athletic ponytail, swayed as she guided her clients with contagious energy. Archie, on the other hand, was a talented and compassionate physiotherapist. His warm smile and gentle brown eyes made patients immediately feel at ease. He had a natural gift for understanding the human body and helping people overcome injuries and physical limitations. His toned body was a testament to years dedicated to sports and an active life. The couple met in an almost cinematic way. Wendy was participating in a race for amateur athletes when she suffered a foot injury. A friend, knowing Archie's reputation as an excellent physiotherapist, recommended him. From the first meeting at Archie's office, the chemistry between them was palpable. Archie's office was a welcoming environment, with walls in soft tones and state-of-the-art equipment. Educational posters about anatomy and health decorated the walls, reflecting Archie's passion for his profession. Wendy felt a tingling sensation through her body when Archie touched her injured foot for the first time. His hands were strong but incredibly gentle. She noticed how he slightly furrowed his brow in concentration while examining the injury, a gesture she would soon discover was characteristic of him when he was focused. Archie, on the other hand, was impressed by Wendy's determination. Even injured, she talked excitedly about getting back to racing and surpassing her personal records. He admired her resilience and competitive spirit. During the 10 physiotherapy sessions that followed, Archie maintained impeccable professionalism, although his heart raced every time Wendy entered the room. Wendy, in turn, found herself looking forward to the sessions, not just for the recovery but for the opportunity to see Archie. In the last session, with Wendy completely recovered, Archie finally summoned the courage. "Hey, Wendy," he said, with a slight blush on his cheeks. "There's a basketball game this weekend. Would you like to go with me? You know, now that I'm no longer your doctor." Wendy's face lit up with a radiant smile. "I'd love to," she replied, feeling butterflies in her stomach. The basketball game was just the beginning. They discovered that they shared a passion for various sports and physical activities. Their dates were always active, runs in the park, climbing classes, tennis matches. Every moment together was full of laughter, friendly competition, and an increasingly deep connection. The marriage proposal, as it could not have been otherwise, happened in a sports setting. During the halftime of a soccer game, Archie surprised Wendy by appearing in the middle of the field. The entire stadium fell silent as he knelt down, presenting a carefully chosen ring. "Wendy," he said, his voice slightly trembling with emotion, "you make me want to be a better person every day. Will you marry me and continue this incredible journey together?" Wendy, with tears of happiness in her eyes, practically jumped into Archie's arms, shouting "yes" as the stadium erupted in applause. The wedding was a unique celebration filled with sports references. The guests received tickets as invitations, the decoration included balls from various sports elegantly displayed, and the wedding cake had miniatures of the couple in sports attire on top. It was a lively party, perfectly reflecting the couple's personality. In the years that followed, Wendy and Archie continued their active life together. They loved running on Sunday mornings, challenging each other to improve their times. Visits to the gym were almost sacred, with the two taking turns to create new challenging workouts. On weekends, they experimented with new activities, from dance classes to water sports. Their home reflected this lifestyle. An entire room was dedicated to exercise equipment and trophies that they had both won over the years. The walls were decorated with photos of them at various competitions and adventure trips. It was a home full of energy and active memories. Everything seemed perfect until that fateful day. Archie was on a mountain bike ride with some friends on a trail in the nearby mountains. The day was clear, the fresh mountain air filling his lungs as he enthusiastically pedaled. But in a moment of distraction, his front wheel hit a loose rock. The world spun around him as he fell. The sharp pain in his knee was immediate and overwhelming. His friends quickly came to his aid, but it was clear that the injury was serious. The journey back to the city with Archie groaning in pain in the back seat of the car seemed endless. At the hospital, the diagnosis was devastating: ligament rupture and cartilage damage in the knee. Archie would need surgery and months of recovery. For someone so active, the news was almost unbearable. The following months were a huge challenge for Archie. Accustomed to always being on the move, he now found himself confined first to bed, then to crutches. Physiotherapy, which was once his professional passion, became a painful and frustrating routine as a patient. Wendy did her best to support him, alternating between gentle encouragement and firm motivation. She adjusted her own routine to be more present, preparing healthy meals and helping Archie with his rehabilitation exercises. But even with all the support, Archie began to sink into a pit of discouragement. As weeks turned into months, Archie started to notice changes in his body that made him even more frustrated. His muscles, once so defined, began to lose tone. Small folds of fat appeared where there were once only firm muscles. Looking at himself in the mirror became an exercise in self-criticism and disappointment. His emotional health also suffered. Archie, once so lively and optimistic, became quiet and introspective. He avoided social gatherings with friends, fearing their looks of pity or, worse yet, comments about his changed appearance. Nights were the worst. Lying in bed, unable to sleep, he wondered if he would ever return to being the active and confident man he once was. Even when the doctor finally cleared him to resume some light physical activities, Archie couldn't muster any enthusiasm. The idea of returning to the gym, where he once felt so at home, now filled him with anxiety. And what about the runs he loved so much? They seemed like a distant, unattainable dream. Wendy watched these changes with a heavy heart. She tried everything to cheer him up, suggested light walks, yoga classes, even swimming, which would be gentler on his knee. But Archie always had an excuse. He was tired, his knee still hurt a little. Maybe tomorrow. One day, after months of seclusion, Wendy decided to try a different approach. "Archie," she said softly during breakfast, "I have a running competition this weekend. I know you can't participate yet, but how about coming to watch? It would be great to have you there, cheering for me." Archie hesitated, his coffee cup pausing midway to his mouth. The idea of being surrounded by fit athletes, reminding him of what he had lost, was uncomfortable. But Wendy's hopeful look made him give in. "All right," he agreed reluctantly. "I'll be there." On the day of the competition, the sun shone brightly and the air was full of energy and expectation. Archie felt out of place in the environment filled with runners warming up and stretching. He tried to hide behind sunglasses and a cap pulled down low. It was then that he heard a familiar voice. "Hey Archie, long time no see." It was Mark, an old friend from his racing days. Before Archie could escape, Mark was already by his side, giving him a tight hug. "Wow, Archie," Mark laughed, patting Archie's belly. "Looks like you're carrying your own ball now, huh?" The joke, though harmless, hit Archie like a punch in the stomach. Another acquaintance approached, joining the conversation. "Hey, Archie," said Tom with a sly smile. "I think the seniors competition already happened earlier. You missed it." Archie forced a smile, but inside he was devastated. Every word reinforced his own insecurities and fears. He could barely focus on Wendy's race, eager to leave as quickly as possible. On the way back home, the silence in the car was heavy. Wendy, noticing Archie's dejection, tried to comfort him. "Don't pay attention to the comments, dear," she said softly, placing a hand on his knee. "The important thing is your health. Having an athletic body again is just a consequence of an active life. You'll get there." Archie just nodded, but Wendy's words planted a seed in his mind. He spent the following days reflecting on his situation. He remembered all the patients he had helped over the years, many with injuries worse than his. He always encouraged them not to give up, to focus on recovery one day at a time. It was time to apply this advice to himself. Slowly, almost imperceptibly at first, Archie began to make changes. He started with small walks around the block, gradually increasing the distance. He resumed a more balanced diet, reducing the processed foods he had adopted during his recovery. Wendy noticed these subtle changes with a mix of relief and hope. She watched as Archie unearthed his old light weights from the closet and began doing simple exercises at home. She observed when he spent more time getting ready in the morning, taking care of his appearance as he used to do. Weeks went by, and Archie's transformation became more evident. His mood improved, he started to smile more, and even suggested that they go for a walk together in the park on a sunny Sunday. On a Wednesday evening around dinner time, Wendy was getting ready to go out the next day. "Archie," she called from the living room, "I need some money for tomorrow, but I don't think I'll have time to stop by the ATM. Do you have any cash in your wallet?" "Of course, my love," Archie replied from the kitchen where he was preparing dinner. "I think I left my wallet on the sideboard in the living room." Wendy went to the sideboard and found Archie's wallet. Before she could open it, a small piece of paper fell to the floor. She bent down to pick it up, and when she read what was written, she felt her heart race. "I loved our meeting. I can't wait to see you again," read the note in handwriting she didn't recognize. Wendy's world seemed to spin. 1,000 thoughts flooded her mind in a matter of seconds. Was Archie seeing someone else? Could this be the reason for his recent changes, the renewed care for his appearance? "Hey, love, did you find my wallet?" Archie's voice coming from the kitchen brought her back to reality. Wendy felt a lump in her throat. "Actually, I changed my mind," she managed to say, struggling to keep her voice steady. "I don't need the money anymore." Before Archie could respond, she rushed to the bathroom, locking the door behind her. Silent tears streamed down Wendy's face as she looked at herself in the bathroom mirror. Her mind was in turmoil. How could this be happening? They had always been so close, so in love. Even during the difficult moments of Archie's recovery, she had never doubted their love. Wendy was never the jealous or suspicious type of person. Trust had always been a fundamental pillar in her relationship with Archie. But now, confronted with this evidence, she felt lost and betrayed. After a few minutes, Wendy took a deep breath, washed her face and left the bathroom, determined to confront the situation. As she approached the kitchen, she heard Archie talking on the phone. "Yes, of course," he was saying. "How about we meet in 10 minutes at the market here in my neighborhood? But I don't have much time, I'm going to have dinner with my wife." Wendy's heart raced. She couldn't believe what she was hearing. Archie, unaware of her presence, continued. "Love, I'm going out for a bit. I'll be back soon," he shouted, thinking Wendy was still in the bathroom. On impulse, Wendy decided to follow her husband. She waited a few seconds after hearing the front door close and then left, keeping a safe distance. Wendy saw Archie arrive at the local market, a small establishment on the corner, illuminated by fluorescent lights. She hid behind a parked car, watching closely. Soon, a figure approached Archie, but it wasn't quite what Wendy expected to see. The person who approached was not a mysterious woman, but Caleb, Archie's co-worker at the physical therapy clinic. Wendy was confused. What was going on? Unable to contain her curiosity and anxiety, Wendy emerged from her hiding place and approached the two men. Archie saw her, and his expression changed from surprise to concern. "Hi, Wendy," he said, clearly flustered. "What are you doing here?" Wendy, with her heart racing and her voice trembling, decided to be direct. "I know everything, Archie. I saw the note in your wallet. You're meeting someone." Archie's expression shifted from concern to complete confusion. "What note, my love? Did you open the wallet that was at home? This wallet here?" He took a wallet out of his pocket and handed it to Wendy. With trembling hands, Wendy opened the wallet. The love note she had seen earlier was there, but when she looked more closely, she realized that the documents inside the wallet were not Archie's, but Caleb's. Archie, seeing the confusion on Wendy's face, gently explained, "Caleb and I share the same locker at the clinic, and coincidentally we have very similar wallets. Today I ended up grabbing his wallet by mistake. That note you must have seen isn't mine. I came to meet with him quickly so we could make the exchange." Caleb, realizing the delicate situation, quickly confirmed the story, took his wallet and said goodbye, leaving the couple alone to talk. Wendy felt a wave of relief and at the same time a pang of shame. "I'm sorry, Archie," she said, with tears in her eyes. "How embarrassing. It's just that thinking you might be with someone else really shook me. You've been so vain lately that I thought maybe—" Archie took Wendy's hands in his eyes filled with love and understanding. "Oh, my love," he said softly. "Why would I have someone else when I have the most beautiful and amazing woman by my side? I decided to change because that day when I met old friends at your competition, I realized how unfair I was being to you. You have always kept yourself healthy, playing sports, and I, on the other hand, became neglectful, so different from the man you fell in love with. I needed to get better for you, for us." Archie's words touched Wendy's heart deeply. She felt foolish for doubting him, even if just for a brief moment. "Oh, Archie," she replied, caressing her husband's face. "I never cared about your extra pounds. What worried me was you harming your health and ceasing to be yourself, that man full of life and passion that I love so much." There, under the lights of the local market, Wendy and Archie embraced tightly, laughing and crying at the same time. They realized that this small misunderstanding had actually strengthened their bond even more. Walking hand in hand back home, the couple talked openly about their feelings, fears, and hopes. Archie shared how vulnerable he felt during his recovery and how Wendy's constant support inspired him to strive to improve. Wendy, in turn, expressed her unconditional love for Archie, regardless of his physical shape, and how proud she was to see him overcoming his challenges. When they arrived home, the dinner Archie had been preparing had already cooled down, but neither of them cared. They sat at the kitchen table, reheated the food, and enjoyed a simple yet meaningful meal. The conversation flowed easily, punctuated by laughter and affectionate glances. That night, lying in bed, Wendy and Archie felt closer than ever. They realized that the true, perfect couple is not the one that never faces challenges, but the one that overcomes them together, with love, understanding, and open communication. The wallet swap incident became a funny story they shared with close friends, always laughing about how a simple misunderstanding nearly caused major confusion. As the months went by, Archie continued his recovery journey. Wendy was by his side every step of the way, celebrating each small victory. Together they redefined their idea of the perfect couple, no longer based solely on physical appearance or athletic achievements, but on the strength of their love, the depth of their mutual understanding, and the joy they found simply being together, facing life's ups and downs as a true team. If you enjoyed the story, please leave a comment with a rating from 1 to 5 to show how much you liked it. Also, watch the video that is now appearing on your screen. See you soon.